Yes, guys, we're still giving away 500 XRP if we hit 1,000 likes within 24 hours. Make sure you press the like button, make sure you are subscribed with the notification bell on, and make sure you comment something down below, as that is all you need to do to enter. Now, guys, most important thing that's happening this week, by far one of the biggest events of 2020, is going to be occurring on the 26th of August. And even though I notified you guys about this before, we did that like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. Right now, it is only 2 to 3 days away. And thus, we should all be preparing for it because it might be a blast. You know, it might really hurt us really, really bad. It might really do amazing for all of us. Who knows? So yes, guys, I am, of course, referring to the big lawsuit that Ripple has been involved in. And specifically, as you can see right here, United States District Court, Northern District of California, Oakland Division, reply in support of motion to dismiss in part consolidated first amended complaint. 9 a.m., August 26th of 2020, Courtroom 3, Judge on Phyllis J. Hamilton. Ooh, is this freaking juicy, guys. Because, as you can see on the left here, this document relates to all actions, consolidated first amended complaint filed March 25th. So basically what this all means here is that in March, there was an amendment complaint filed, right? We all know it. And the whole situation here is Ripple has been sued for kind of having a security, right? For kind of having XRP and unregistered security, and they really were scamming people out of their money. And what Ripple was like, well, we didn't misrepresent anything, or at least you didn't claim that we did, so really what's your point in all of this? So let's dismiss it because the lawsuit is not correct. And what this kind of means for us is there's kind of three main scenarios, maybe four. Let's name three though to start. First of all, Ripple wins. The lawsuit gets dismissed, or at least the motion gets dismissed. Oh no, the lawsuit gets dismissed, or the complaint gets dismissed. I don't know exactly what part to call it. English is difficult. Which would be because really the statements, as said before, were kind of half-assed, where they really didn't do anything wrong following his accusations. However, it doesn't really say anything about XRP being a security just quite yet. The second one is Ripple wins because the court rules out that XRP is not a security regardless, and thus all of his complaints can be dismissed because he's, wrong. The third one, of course, is that, not this four, as I just said. The third one is that it gets not dismissed, or doesn't get dismissed because, well, the complaints were, I guess, valid. That does not necessarily imply it's a security. It just means that he complained about a couple of things which really are on the topic. His complaints are valid, sort of. So he has normal complaints which then need to be further analyzed. And then option 4 is that he wins, claiming that XRP is indeed a security. Now, I think you guys can all, with your little tiny brains right there watching, just kidding, guys, understand that the first 3 options are acceptable. The fourth one, of course, is not acceptable because that would be very, very bad. But there's actually only one in which the XRP price might soar ridiculously high. And as of this point, I would say it's just a 25%. It's just a 1 out of 4, right? I think all have an equally high likelihood, as it's so vague. There's only a 1/4 chance of really failure and 3/4 chance of success. However, there's only like a 1/4 option still for like great success and us really being happy because the price is going to soar. The only reason I think the price could soar from something like this is if it were to be deemed not a security, because I think a lot of companies would then be a lot more eager to hop on, but more so because of R shilling and R, or just happiness over on Twitter and everywhere. It could just drive a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of demand for the coin, as it's finally ruled out that it's not a security, and people would now really, really get into it heavily. So I think that would be a very, very big statement and thing to watch out for. So yeah, guys, keep it in the back of your head that this is coming along. It's coming, and you should be prepared for it. Then, of course, a second thing which is really coming along really, really shortly here, not the 26th, but really shortly here, is Swell. Now, of course, there is one the 26th, which is why I thought the 26th is really a double kind of up important date. And by the way, if you want to register, I made a couple of videos explaining how to do it. Just press register now, then type in Swell APAC in full caps, and the rest really kind of suits itself. You can figure it out. You're smart enough to do that. And you can just watch it live if you want to. However, the reason I'm telling you guys this, that it's going to be big, is because 16th of September, August 26th, and of course the big October 14th, 15th is going to be huge. Oh my days, it is going to be huge. And the main reason for that is APAC here, very emerging region, right? Everybody's really excited to learn more about that because at least Ripple has been putting a little bit of a focus on that region. Europe is very exciting because it's a bigger region like NA. These two have the most influence on our daily lives, which is, at least for the majority of the people watching my videos, then also the most important. And of course, October 14 and 15 is the big Swell event. Even though they're going virtual, it is really going to be important because that's when they just roll out a lot of the other pieces of information that are just necessary to all of us. Like these 5, I only see 4 now. I don't know what happened to the other one. I thought it was 5 regionals. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe one got deleted. Maybe it was 4. I really could swear it was 5, but now that I'm seeing the dates, I'm like, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just like there's 4 regionals and 1/5 just normal event, making it 5 swells this year and just 4 regionals. Swell. I'm just typing it in on my phone here to make sure. Swell regionals. But yeah, what else was I do that here? Let's keep on talking. The fact that this is going to be happening is really, really important and really huge to all of us. More so for the reason that they give us some information which is not specific to any region, but just specific to Ripple as a company. Right, and the fact that this one was already quite a success, but we didn't get access to it, and the main reason for that is that the whole ODL part, which we were all excited for, was customer only, so we got knocked out of the talk, which happened kind of the same way on MENA, and which most likely happened the same way in APAC and Europe, might be discussed over here in the main Swell event. I don't really think they would kick us out like that. However, the bad part is, if you're not in the Swell event yourself, it's going to be a lot more difficult to get some live stream footage because it's not allowed to live stream the content. Crypto Siege or whatever his name is exactly. I think it's Crypto Siege, but it might be something wrong. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. I actually tried to live stream the North American event and got a kind of a cease and desist sort of letter or mail by saying, hey, we don't appreciate you doing this, which I really understand because, at least I kind of understand. The reason I understand is because I think they just want the people that are there to be there and the people that are not there to kind of miss out because it's a one-time thing and they want to give out their on-demand themselves, maybe for the email leads or something like that. I don't really know. But it's just their own decision, right? If they don't want it, they don't want it. So I can understand if you were to decide to do it. They also were really cool about it though in the end. Now again, this might be the biggest thing of 2020 for Ripple, as in Swell, most of the time some crazy things come out. 2018 we saw ODL. 2019 we saw kind of the Ripple net being created instead of the current XRapid and XVIA being apart. And now in 2020 we may see something completely crazy come out. We may see nothing at all. Who knows? All I can tell is more people will be informed right now about all these changes more instantly, which might trigger prices a little bit faster than before. But the highest likelihood scenario is that a little bit in anticipation for Swell, the prices go up. And then maybe the day before Swell or something, the price goes down, which is generally what happens all the time. But all right, that's just my 2 cents on the whole situation. Warren Buffett shifts Wall Street focus to hard assets. Pretty interesting title if you ask me. Gold bulls attempted to regain the $2,000 level this week, but they found themselves to be in for some more back and forth market tug of war with the bears. Earlier this week, precious metals markets got a surprising Buffett bounce, and a far scarcer metal, platinum, is currently off the radar of most investors, including even the most gold and silver bugs. Well, all I can say, guys, because I don't want to dive too deep, is right now is one of the most insecure periods for stocks ever. The most insecure periods for precious metals as well, as I really don't think anybody knows what's going to happen in the next week. Very often when we're in like the upturn or the upper side of the business cycle, it's easy to be seen, right? But right now we are kind of in the upper side of the business cycle because we just got kind of done from a small recession or a small setback, 50%, so rather big setback. However, since the macroeconomical factors like the US dollar, how it's doing in terms of the fundamentals of the dollar and the faith in the US government and the faith in the dollar and all of that, and people's households and the longevity of companies at this point, they're all doing so negative. it's really hard to spot and place exactly what the stock market should be at, because one would easily say that it's all overvalued. However, if you think about it, people haven't really stopped buying iPhones, I would say. I think the majority of the people still are buying their phones because they're on like longer term things and they're just paying it anyway. I don't think many people cut their costs on a lot of those things, and especially the online shopping, and it's just gone on and on and on, and people are spending more money than ever. And Teslas, they're just getting sold more and more and more. It's getting more popular. People are still entertaining themselves. They still have Netflix. They still have other things. A lot of other companies which are really, really big already, they're still thriving. They're still doing amazing, which is also why it's so difficult to point out exactly where the economy should be. Because people are getting stimulus, they're still spending the same amount of money, even though a lot of companies are going bankrupt, even though their whole financial situations might be going very, very, very bad. In terms of Fisher's equation, and in terms of how a lot of these businesses that are not affected in a negative way by the pandemic because of the stimulus, or just because their business model doesn't really fall for these types of scenarios, yeah, they can still do good and they can still grow, which is bad over the long run because it kind of makes the stock market look good, even though it might be doing very, very bad, which is just my 2 cents on the whole situation. Then the article we saw earlier, just a little bit of a recap on that, at least just a small part, is actually the fact that the big Cold War that's going on between the US and China is not just about one or two things. It's actually about really a handful of things, where it's not just about 5G, not just about AI, and the whole just technology commitment. I'm going to say it's more so about the global financial system and what the future of that is going to be. What currency is going to be the next world currency? Is it going to be the Chinese yuan? Is it going to be the US dollar still? It's going to remain forward. Because every time we saw the world currency switch, it was because of a major event, right? I explained to you guys a couple of videos ago. Also, the median and the mean, I think they're both the same. No. The mean, yeah, whatever. The median and the mean, right now we're at 100 exactly years for the world currency to be the dollar. The median and the mean are both lower than what it is at right now. Because I believe the median is 95 and the mean is also 95. I believe they're both 95. It could be. I know the bottom two are 80 years and the upper two are 110 plus. But maybe the middle one is 95. I don't remember, guys. Cut me some slack. I try my best to make these videos. So basically, it's below the 100 years that it is at right now, which means there's a high likelihood of the US dollar kind of falling apart right now, because there's also such a big macroeconomic event like the whole pandemic and situation right now, which could make it switch over. But then, would it be the Chinese yuan? Would it be, the CBDCs take over this fast, and this is going to be like a controlled middle CBDC that's really pegged to every dollar currency, whatever out there? It's going to be a new world currency. It's going to be like XRP. It's going to be something else. Who knows? And since I can't give you guys an accurate prediction on what's going to happen in the stock market and what's going to happen in this big war that's going on and who's going to be winning it. Also, it's very difficult to see who's actually at the top right now. I would say the majority of the time, China looks to be at top. But on the contrary, China is still quite restrictive in what they allow in those things, where the US is not that fast, but they're quite obvious in what they want and what they do not want. And maybe some groundbreaking breakthroughs will be made right this second, tomorrow, today, the day afterwards, and things like that, which would just change the whole system. It could happen. Since I didn't know about it, I'm keeping my eyes off, or my hands off, and just my eyes closed, or close to it. And just telling you guys, watch out for this. It's going to be a very heavy next couple of months. Everybody will be sitting next to the computer just looking at what's happening. But specifically here, watch out for the 26th, as it might be a very big date that we'll all remember. Take care, everybody. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again in another crypto video. Have a nice day.